Welcome back to Hawkeye Skunk Works. I am Joe. It is a windy, cold, overcast Saturday here in Iowa, but I've got the Explorer out on some dirty, muddy, wet back roads, and we are filming the final farewell, goodbye tribute video for the Explorer. Stay tuned. We are going to do something that has never been done before. The cheapest third-gen Toyota 4Runner in the entire country. I have bought another 4Runner.
Dad, everything is blowing!
And that, my friends, is one of the greatest parts about being here. Let's go ahead and hop in the vehicle where it's much warmer and much less windy. Actually, I'm holding the microphone outside in the wind. Let's open the sunroof. Maybe you guys can get a little bit better lighting. Anyway, it's very overcast today. Joe is down the road with his drone. We're gonna fly that around, try and get some beauty shots of the Explorer for this video, while you and I drive around and do a little talking about the Explorer, about my experiences with it, how it changed my life, if you will, and I'm pretty sad to see it go. And I think probably the best place to start is way back when I was 14. When I was 14, almost 15, I bought my first car. It was a 1983 Chevy Monte Carlo. It was a rust bucket. I bought it from my cousin for 300 bucks. It had a 305 V8, the 4-barrel, Quadra junk on it, and my dad and I spent the next 6 months or so kind of cutting rust out of it, doing a barnyard paint job on it, and in Iowa you can get your permit when you're 14. I'm not 100% sure on all the rules now, but I could also get a school permit, which enabled me to drive to and from school. That is it. I lived like 2 miles from school. So that's where my car obsession began. And kind of my obsession for four-wheel drives as well. Growing up, we lived on a dead-end road at the top of a gravel hill that was not maintained by the city. So I got a crash course real quick on how to drive in the snow. I have lost count of how many times I had slid backwards down that hill in my Monte Carlo while it spun around completely 360 degrees. You know, I never hit anything. Thankfully, there wasn't much there to hit. But yeah, at that time, my dad had a Bronco 2. We always have had Bronco 2s in our family, it seems like, up until, you know, recently. My dad's had a couple. I have had one that I'm sure you guys have seen. I've posted pictures and stuff. All of that being said, I learned real quick to appreciate four-wheel drive when I was driving when I was 15, 16 years old. It was the independence. It was, even though, you know, it wasn't anything crazy, it had highway tires on it, no lift. You know, it's that mindset that you can go anywhere, do anything. That's not always the right mindset to have, but I think you understand what I'm getting at. Moving on further in life, the first vehicle that Mrs. HSW and I bought together was a 96 Ford Explorer Sport, black on gray. That's still one of my most favorite vehicles that we've ever owned. I don't know what it was. I think when I sold it, I had everything dialed in kind of where I wanted it. It was lifted a couple inches. It had 31-inch BFGs on it. You know, it was black. I had fixed the rust on it. It ran fantastic. It was a really good car, but our family was growing and it was time to move on to something else. Skip ahead to this Explorer. Over the last 5 years of owning this, no, we haven't done a ton of off-roading in it, but I'm probably going to trigger some people when I say this. It introduced me to overlanding. I am not an overlander, but it introduced me to that mindset of, realize when I grew up, off-roading, you had a full-size rig, you had 6, 8, 10 inches of lift, you were running super swampers, boggers, big V8, like that's the era that I come from, compared to the era now where you don't have to have all that to get out and explore, to get out and enjoy nature, to go run some back roads, to go to the sand dunes, to go to Tennessee. And so it changed the way that I looked at four-wheel drives, as I don't have to have the biggest lift, I don't have to have the biggest aggressive tires. It's about the experience. And I realize that it kind of sounds sappy or whatever, but because of this vehicle and probably our first trip to the sand dunes as a family, we realized that with something that's mildly built, 31-inch tires, some good tread, knowing what you're doing, you can get out and experience things a lot of other people will never be able to experience. We realized that as a family, we loved doing that together. We have realized that having, the first time we went camping as a family was with this vehicle. We did some tent camping. My wife and I camped in the back of it. That's still one of my best memories. Sleeping in the back of this thing, waking up, popping the hatch, the river's out there. It's just, I'll never forget that. And so in a way, yeah, this vehicle has changed our lives in realizing that we all love getting out into nature together. We love exploring together. We love doing some four-wheel drive stuff together. And I've said it once, I've said it a million times, that this is not the most capable off-road rig. I know that. I knew that when I bought it. I don't know. I think out of all the vehicles that I've ever sold, I will miss letting this one go the most. Yes, we need to let this go. It's got a lot of miles on it. I've got too many vehicles. It's time to move on to something else. But I think as of right now, I definitely have bonded the most with this vehicle. I know that's so weird to say. My girls ask me all the time, Dad, why do you love cars so much? And it's more of definitely a self-expression thing. A lot of people that know me they can recognize me in traffic because they know my vehicles, or you know, stuff like that. But it's the freedom that we, like, my girls, my wife, they even know, like, when it's snowing, like, let's go out, because they know that we can. There's nothing, like, we don't have to worry about getting stuck for the most part. And definitely, I think the vehicle aspect in our family, at least for me, has brought us closer together. I know a lot of times they just they accept it. The girls deal with it because it's dad, and I appreciate that greatly. But there's nothing that I like more than getting everyone in the car and just going for a gravel road drive and just seeing what's out there. So I don't know, I definitely will miss it. Hopefully whoever it goes to will appreciate it and take care of it, look after it like I have. Hopefully maybe it'll change their life. I don't know. I'm having kind of a hard time wrapping up this video, trying to put into words exactly what this vehicle has meant to me over the last couple years, and knowing that I was going to make this video for the last little while. I've been trying really hard to figure out how to put it in words that genuinely, I think that this vehicle has brought me closer to my family, has brought me closer to nature, has made me a better mechanic, has brought me in touch with a lot of you guys. So without any further ado, we'll go ahead and wrap the video up. Give the video a thumbs up. Give the Explorer a thumbs up. If you haven't already, subscribed to the channel. Head on over to Instagram and Facebook. Follow me over there. Who knows where this thing is going to end up. It's been a good ride. So until next time, thank you for watching. Take care and goodbye. Oh, one more thing.